Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. We're going to do another shave today. A couple of audibles I had to call. We were at some friend's house last night, so we got home kind of late, and we had taken Kona the dog. And Kona the dog, for those of you that have been following my journal over on the shavingcadre.com, is our Gerberian Shepsky, half German Shepherd, half Husky. And we took him over to a friend's house who has a golden retriever puppy that's about 9 months old, and they literally played from when we got there at about 4:30 until about midnight, never stopped. And so, there's nothing like the joy of bringing home a slobbery dog that's been wrestling all night. So I didn't get a chance to hone the Dovo, so I'll probably do that over the next 2 days or so. So what we're going to do today is, this was kind of inspired by my buddy Nurse Dave over at the TSC. We're going to kind of do an aquatic shave, and like him, I love Oud Mineral. I have it, and I don't use it as much as I'd like because they don't make it anymore. But for an aquatic scent, this is a good alternative. And I don't know if Dave's tried the EDP that we're going to be using, but based on his statement on his video today, he would really like it because he was talking about a pinch of salt to give it that briny sea air. Well, this is it. Truefitt&Hill 1805. Now, this commemorates some battle in Britain. I don't have the exact details, nor do I really care, but it's got a like a shipboard wood, sail, linen fabric scent with that sea and salt air. Really, really nice. To continue our British shave today, we're going to be using a Gillette Aristocrat open comb number 15, British 15. For our brush, we'll be using a Morris&Forndran Appolina with I think it's a Super Badger from Lee Sabatini. And then for the aftershave, Truefitt&Hill 1805. And then this is what I think Nurse Dave should try to get, if you can still find it. It's made by Penhaligon, so it's still British. The way they made the bottle, the labeling isn't the smartest, but it's cool, and it's kind of an iridescent blue, but it's blasted Heath. Now, you'd never think aquatic on that, but this is an amazing aquatic, salty, briny, leathery, almost a smoky scent, believe it or not. So that's something that maybe Nurse Dave you'd like to try. So hope everybody's doing wonderful on this fine Sunday morning. We have bingo, live bingo, presented to us by Nurse or Dangerous Dawn today, which will be fun. We haven't done a live bingo game in a while. I think the last person to do it was Spider, and should be a lot of fun. The weather is finally, whoops. Shaving foul. The weather is finally turning here in the high desert Southwest. Today we're ringing out the last of our monsoon, we think. It's a little bit, but it's not a normal like thunderstorm, boom, flood the world type of rain. It's a very light, misty, almost a foggy type of rain, and it's in the 60s, which for us is wonderful. The Truefitt&Hill, being a typical British hard soap, can go one of two ways. It can be a foamy mess, or it can end up to be a nice creamy lather, depending on how you do it. I have only tried bowl lathering this once, and I just couldn't get the water right. And this one you kind of want to leave thicker to get you the shave that you need. So, and I've got a Wizamet blade in the crat. Yeah, unfortunately, I wanted to get that Dovo honed last night, but we got home pretty late, and TSC Control Central needed to send out the invites for the Zoom call, the bingo call today. So, unfortunately, and also dealing with a wet, stinky dog. I had to get him cleaned up, but he had a blast. We're trying to socialize him as much as possible with people and with other pets, as the folks that fostered him before we got it, Sunny Sanity and You a Cowboy on the forum on TSC, gave us a little bit of history, but we know that originally he was a Craigslist dog, so don't have a lot of history, but he was a little bit tentative when we first got him, but he had really opened up. And last night, when we took him to our friend's house, there was, probably 10 to 15 people, maybe a little bit less. And they had never met him, and he was just absolutely wonderful. Didn't bark, didn't growl, wagging his tail. Then the kids came out, and there were small kids and big kids, and he just played with them and had a real good time. And then him and Xena, who is the golden retriever, just literally played tug of war. They wrestled with each other. I mean, literally from when we started playing dominoes at about 5 o'clock till almost midnight, nonstop. They took a couple of breathers to eat, but that was about it. So that was fun to see him do that. We've got somewhat of an semblance of a good production crew today. They came back from that soiree in San Francisco and kind of had to nurse them through their hangovers last night. But we're back to normal. I'm looking forward to the review of some whiskeys for the Saguaro Bay Tasting Guild that were sent over to California, along with some stogies to see what he thinks of them. It's a small club right now, but we're hoping that maybe at some point it grows. Shave so far. The only problem with this soap is it thins out real quick unless you just leave it, which is kind of against what we all like to do with our soaps, is add water until it gets nice and creamy. But this does it with a very minimal amount of water. And the one thing I have noticed over time with this Morris&Forndran with the Sabini knot is you got to be real careful, because it will literally eat lather. If you overhydrate it, it just literally takes it to the depths of its badger knot and says, no, I'm not going to release it. But then when you rinse it out, there's plenty of soap there. It just doesn't like to release it right away. Nurse Dave was talking earlier about gunpowder scents, like Ghost Town Barber. I find Ghost Town Barber sweet, and it's hard to pick out the gunpowder notes. I think that Chris Lindsay at CBL Soaps, and this is not self-promotion, but I think he really nailed the gunpowder, creosote, leather feel of an old desert town with the soap that I commissioned for him for my barber shop, which is Hombres, and that can be so if anybody's interested in that, either contact him or me. But it really, because the notes of Hombres are quite unique. It's got suede leather, barber chair leather, creosote, terracotta clay, jalapeno. So it really captures that Southwest feel, in my opinion. And my clients seem to like it, and everybody who's tried it seems to like it pretty good. And it's got, your typical CBL soaps quality. I would say the Gillette Aristocrat is probably the second most aggressive razor I have. Being the Blackbird TI close comb is the most. Excuse me. And then, well, the Trudari and Aristocrat. But the Aristocrat is just a tad bit more aggressive depending on the blade that you put in it. Today, we're probably going to go ahead and use Thayer's Lavender because of some of the floral aquatics. And it's a Sunday. We're going to be hanging around the house, so we probably won't do any talc today. But we'll let that dry down a little bit. Clean out the brush. And for those of you that don't have a Morris&Forndran brush, I waited a long time before getting one because I didn't think I could justify the price. But Brad Sears is making them for Sabatini. Sabatini provides the knots. Ken Lynn at Paladin used to do some knots with Lee, but the Morris&Forndran brush is just beautiful. It's just an amazing, and you can customize it. There's a long wait line for it, but you know it's worth it, in my opinion. Okay, Truefitt&Hill, 1805. And the neat thing about the Truefitt&Hill stuff is the bottles are beautiful, and the reducer is just fantastic. It puts out just the right amount. Yeah, and it's got that salty, briny, like if you're hanging out on an old HMS cutter. To me, having been there, I think, Nurse Dave, that this smells like San Francisco. I mean, in a good way, you know, down by the bay and out on the bay underneath the bridge. Really good stuff. And then for the EDT, or EDP rather, this is a perfume strength, the Blasted Heath. And this is super salty, super briny. And it's just wonderful. Yeah, it's just a little bit more of that sea air. And on a misty day like today, this is perfect for us down here. Okay, folks, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me at Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. I hope you can join us at the Shaving Cadre, www.theshavingcadre.com. And we hope you have a very blessed Sunday, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care.